Do you want the truth? Because you can't handle the truth. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. Okay, you can handle the truth. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the truth behind your rank and why actually you're probably a lot better than you really think you are. Now, there are some there's some things going on with this game. So firstly, most players do not play competitive. Now, this is the same for any other game out there in the world. You can throw Overwatch into this, whatever game you want with a ranked system. Most players are not playing the ranked modes, right? They are playing the quick play, the casual modes, the modes where you can just go in and have fun and it isn't all do or die kind of attitude. Now, you can also see a lot of discussion where people will be like, oh, I mean, you're plat, you're terrible. Diamond's easy to get to. If you work really hard, you'll get to Grandmaster. What even about Celestial? Maybe you could get to Eternity or One Above All with a lot of practice. Well, okay, I think we need to look at some facts and some figures here because we can pull up data that has actually been collected on the player base. Now, before I show you this, what I'm going to say is there are a few caveats to this information. So firstly, it's only PC players. Now, I think we can extrapolate that out and we can almost apply it to console players as well, because I think it should be fairly similar. Things that would be different in the console environment versus PC. Now, the reason why they're split as well, guys, is because console in competitive does not match with PC. You only match with your same platform when you play competitive. Quick play is different because you'll just match with everybody, so you can get console players on your team, or if you're a console player, you might get PC players in your team or in the game. But in competitive, it isn't. It's just you play against your platform. So PC versus PC, console versus console. I'm not actually sure whether Xbox and PlayStation are in the same pool. I'd imagine they probably are, but I'm not sure on that. But anyway, they're not in the PC pool. So this data is only the PC data. So like I said, it is not console data, is not complete data, because we're not looking at console and PC combined. But we can, for argument's sake, say it's probably quite similar. As I say, the only difference will be certain heroes will be stronger on console than they would be on PC. Like, for example, normally aim-intensive heroes. I know Black Widow's trash, and she's kind of a bad example to use here, but Black Widow on PC would be stronger than she would be on console just because of the way PC functions for aiming, right? So, yeah. With all that said and done, let's take a look at this information, because I'm telling you right now, guys, you are not as bad as you think you are. In fact, you're probably a lot better. Let's do this. So this is the Marvel Rivals ranked distribution chart over on Rivals Tracker. Now, remember what I said about the data. There's only so many times I can kind of give the data an excuse, but it really needs to be said again. This isn't 100% accurate. We believe it's fairly accurate because it is tracking players in the game. However, there's going to be some nuance to this and some little bits and pieces which, you know, might not make sense. But I think what we can do with this graph is we can look at it and we can see some very obvious things. So the majority of players, so 367,000 players out of the total 1.3 million that have been tracked, and remember, this is only on PC for competitive, are in Bronze 3. This makes sense, right? So if the most players do not play competitive, when a player goes to play competitive, they will be placed into Bronze 3. So this is the rank everybody achieves when they load up competitive, because it's the bottom rank in the game. So it goes without saying this has got the most players. And as you can see, as you go through this tier, you can see the distribution starts to change. So only 8.2% of players in this tier get to the next tier, and then we get to 7.8%. 105,000. So I think when you look at that, it's actually quite interesting there. 105,000 players down from 367,000. So it is like a third of the player base at bronze level only managed to get to bronze 1 from bronze 3. So it's really interesting stats that is to look at. So again, most players are bronze, but the question here is, how hard is it to actually get into the other ranks? How difficult is it to get through silver, gold, platinum, and diamond? And actually, how good are you when you get to those ranks? Now remember, there's probably like 30 million plus players in this game. We know 20 million plus has been achieved, and we know that only 1.3 million players are actually being tracked on PC at the moment. And of course, like I said, there'll be more people on console and PC if it was to be combined, but we don't have those stats available. So then we look through silver, right, and we start noticing, okay, 121,000 players, which is a little bit more than who make it to bronze 1, who are in bronze 1, I guess. So they've progressed through the ranks. They've then appeared into silver 3. And then we start going down. So you get 108,000 players, 99,000 players. So even already looking at this, the amount of players we've gone through here is absolutely astronomical. I mean, I'll round this up just for ease of calculation, or maybe round it down. But let's just say 350,000 players there. So let's say like 460,000, and then we say like 565,000, and then you see where I'm going with this, and then we're like 781,000, let's say. 791,000. No, 810,000. You get where I'm going with this, right? There's like 1 million players here. We're getting really close to 1 million players. And for Silver 1, out of 1 million player sample, you're in the top 10% basically of those players because you're in that 100,000 region-ish. I know those calculations are very quick off the fly there because I was just doing it as we're going through this. But you can see what I mean? Like, that is a massive achievement. So Silver 1 is actually a really high rank in the game. When you look at the data this way, it starts to really make sense, doesn't it? You're like, actually, yeah. But the problem is, you've got a lot of people online, a lot of discussion. Platinum is trash. Plat has always been seen as trash. If you're Plat, you're trash. You need to apply yourself. You need to get through the ranks, right? We all say that Marvel Rivals doesn't really begin until you get to Diamond, when you get hero bans. But what I'm going to show you here is the actual number of players in Diamond. I mean, you can already see it already on the graph. But when we get to it in a second, it's actually so laughably small. It really doesn't matter to the player base. It's like, even talking about bans literally doesn't matter. If I make a tier list and I talk about bans, it literally doesn't matter. It has no impact on the game because there's so little people are actually at that level. Anyway, so let's move forward to gold. And as we're seeing with gold, you got 117,000 make it to gold 3. Now, I think the reason why we see a pretty sharp drop off after gold 3 is quite simple. It's the Moon Knight skin. And it's not just the Moon Knight skin, it's also the Invisible Woman skin of this season. Now, this, I think, in some ways is really good because the devs can use this as an incentive for players to push through the ranks. What happens if they say, you know what, we're going to put Platinum 3 as a reward? We'd start to see a spike at Platinum 3. It gives people a reason to play competitive beyond just trying to play to win. Now, a lot of people do like to play to win, but more people just like to play have a good time, basically, and also get a reward. And yes, if you kept grinding away at games, eventually you would hope you'd be able to get to gold 3. But still, gold 3 is a difficult thing to achieve. And again, not a lot of players in the grand scheme of things are actually getting to gold 3. So even if you do manage to get to gold 3, it's a big payout. But again, that is why this is much higher relative to the other ranks, apart from obviously bronze for obvious reasons. Because people are just stopping once they've got the skin. Which makes sense. You've achieved the goal. You don't want to play that anymore. You want to go back to quick play. Totally fine. But anyways, we go through the gold tiers. You'll see. Gold 2's got 83,000 players. And gold 1 has got 68,000 players. Then we jump forward into platinum. This is where a lot of people say you're trash. But actually, you're not. I mean, you're getting into the top percentile of the game here in platinum. You know, you're top. I mean, what we're looking at with these percentage figures here are distribution percentage figures inside the tier, I believe. You guys can correct me wrong if I'm wrong here, but again, it kind of really doesn't matter because you can just see all the numbers of the players that have been tracked. So you can see when we get into this level here, it's so infinitesimally small in the grand scheme of the 1.3 million players being tracked. You're like in the top 5% literally of the game, which is insane, right? In any walk of life, if you're at that top percentile, you are some of the best at whatever you're doing. So I hate to break this to you guys, Platinum is some of the best players of Marvel Rivals in the world. Fact, right? It sounds crazy to say it, but it is true. And things just get more and more amplified as time goes on. So again, you go to Platinum 2, you end up with 38,000 players at this rank. And then Platinum 1, 21,000 players. And like I said, the figures will be, you know, the official figures that NetEase have got access to will be a bit different than what we're looking at here. But still, it's insane to see the reduction in player numbers. Now, this is where things get absolutely bonkers, right? I'll just move the mouse out of the way so we can see this clearly. Look at Diamond, right? This is my current rank at the moment. I'm Diamond 3. I almost ranked to Diamond 2 this morning. But then I had some interesting games, which we won't speak about. Highly toxic games. Where, yeah, they were terrible. But anyway, I'm Diamond 3. So there's 15,800 players at this rank. And then as you see, there's only 6.6, 3.1, 3.1, 1.3, 700, 600, you know, and the list just goes down. So this rank is literally, effectively, the top 1% in the game. But it's maybe not as extreme as that. It's probably like the top 2%, 3% maybe. If we were to sort of like, I don't know, speculatively average that out. It's not even mathematical. Don't even quote me on that. But it's basically, let's just say the top 2%, right? That is insane. That is actually insane. So anyone who's at Diamond is a really high-end player. Like an insanely high-end player. And this is where things get crazy because Diamond is where hero bans come in. So this section of the game is completely different to every section of the game most people are playing. And it's why I think people, myself included, have called for maybe hero bans to maybe start them in platinum, right? Maybe that would be a good start. You could even argue start them in gold, right? Because this could be the catalyst for these players at gold 3 to think, hey, this game is totally different. Maybe it makes them play it a little bit more if they've got access to hero bands, or conversely, might make them play it less because you can't play a hero. But look at these diamond figures. They are friggin' bonkers. If anyone says to you, oh, you're trash because you're in diamond, slap them. Get your hand out, back of the hand, slap them because they are stupid. I mean, even if they're saying platinum, it's literally the top percentile of the game. But as you can see, things get really extreme. So at Diamond 1, this is like verging on Grandmaster. You can see that's been given a 0.2% distribution. There's only 3,100 players there. Then we've got the same number of players that have made it into Grandmaster 3. And then, this just gets lower and lower. So if you're Grandmaster 1, there's only literally like maybe 740 players at your rank. Like everyone else is like, that is just insanely high. And then you start moving into Celestial 3, which of course was a new rank added for Season 1. And then you can see there's like 816, 300, 125 at Celestial 1. Now, these are ranks most people are never going to see. Like, it's going to be so hard to get to these ranks. I mean, for me, I'd like to get to Grandmaster. I think this is beyond me, honestly. I mean, maybe if I get lucky, but I don't think so. I think because I'm here at the moment, I can grind through into this tier, possibly get to Grandmaster. And if I could stay in Grandmaster, I'd be happy with that. But yeah, I mean, look at this. Celestial 1, insane. And then you go to Eternity, which there's 8 players. And then one above all, there's 29. What's interesting is I think one above all is meant to be like the top 500, right? I don't know, but there's obviously not 500 players at these ranks. And it'll probably take a while for those ranks to get fleshed out because the season basically needs more games and needs more data. But the takeaway here, guys, again, I know I've been showing you a graph for a while in this video, but it really does make sense. Is basically this. Most players are going to be bronze 3 because most people don't play competitive. Most players, well, it's not even true to say most players, but players are getting to gold 3 for the skin reward and then stopping playing because they've attained their reward. But then anything past gold 3 is basically the top percentile of the game. You know, it's like an insane amount of skill to even be at these levels. So don't think to yourself, I'm trash because I'm in gold. You're not. You're some of the best players in the world at the game, which again sounds crazy to say, but it's true. And we can look at the data and we can take this data and this is what we can take from it. So don't be disheartened if you are, gold, platinum. I mean, if you gold, platinum, if you're diamond, you're a really high tier player. And I'll be honest, I was a bit ashamed of myself. I'm like, I'm diamond. I need to be able to get higher than that because surely I'm better than that. These thoughts go through your head. And actually, no, it's not. It's pretty good. But platinum is also really damn good as well. But so is like gold 1, gold 2, and even gold 3. All right, guys. Thank you for watching today's video. Let me know what your rank is in the video below, in the comments in the video below, I should say. Also, are you playing competitive? Do you even care about competitive? I mean, for me, the reason why I play it is I do like the thrill of sort of like the challenge. I like close games. Obviously, you can get close games in quick play as well. But I feel like there's just something on the line sort of thing. But of course, it has severe negative connotations when you lose or somebody trolls and throws. And then you're like, wow, I don't want to play this no more. So, yeah, it's always going to be one of those diversive topics. But, yeah, your rank, at the end of the day, doesn't really matter. But also, you are much better than you think you are. All right, guys, thanks for watching today's video. I've been Stylosa. You can follow me in everything, which is at Stylosa. If you did enjoy this video, then do like the video. It helps an absolute ton. Subscribe to the channel as well for more. And, yeah, I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. See you soon.